Welcome to the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's. We are live at Phil Datka Stadium in Germantown as the Warhawks take on the Orioles from Hartford. Thanks for joining us. I am Mike McGivern with Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, and this is the Sports Radio 1250 pregame show. I'm joined by the two head coaches tonight, Tom Nettig from Hartford and Jake Davis from Germantown. Boys, I'm going to ask you the same question, but Jake, I'll start with you. I always learned a lot from the teams that I coached after the first week, first game. They get a win. I'm looking at their face to see if they're coming in with a swagger, a little cocky. How did you guys, how's the first week of practice after a nice win for Greenfield?
Well, it's always a challenge, like you said, coming off a 49-7 win for us, staying humble and realizing we've only won one game thus far was something that a bit of a challenge for us. But our boys came out and they created a theme of the week, never satisfied, and we kept going throughout the week. So it was
beautiful.
A good week.
Tom, same question. I always looked, if we lost our first game and you guys lost to a really good Homestead team, I wanted to see the kids and see if their heads were down and see how their first week, that first two practices after, wondering how you guys did?
Actually, scheduling an opponent like that, just like Germantown, we challenge ourselves. And we have a pretty young, inexperienced group. I have about 4 players that had some meaningful snaps last year, so they got thrown into the fire quick. And our whole theme is to improve each week, and we're hoping to see some improvement tonight and get us ready for our ultimate goal, and that's to make the playoffs this year.
Oh boy, I'll tell you what, the ultimate goal, you talked about young kids. I believe in programs as you guys do, and Germantown's got a great youth program. Hartford's program, I'm a little familiar with. My nephew played in it. Yeah. Caleb had to. In fact, happy birthday, Caleb. It's his birthday today. But I got to see firsthand there are some awfully good players in the Hartford youth program. You need bigger numbers, though.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Our numbers right now, we've got 3 classes in a row that are relatively small. And the JV team right now, we got quite a few freshmen up there, and they are playing at a pretty high level, and we got some pretty good players coming up. So the future looks pretty good right now.
Good for you. And same with you, Jake. I think when people talk about youth programs in football in this area, Germantown's in that conversation with being one of the better youth programs. You guys have great volunteers, really
Absolutely.
Good coaches, and great participation by the kids in this area.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We make it out as many Saturdays as we can to go out and watch them. The field we have out there at Friedenfeld Field is awesome. There's kids playing football everywhere, from the little kids playing flag to the older 8th graders playing, just getting ready to get in high school after 1 year. So
you bet. Boys, I'm going to cut you loose. Thank you so much. We're going to get to a break. Other side of the break, John Weiser, Dick Basham are going to get you the keys of the game. This is Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's.
Thank you for joining us in Germantown tonight, week number 2 of Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Germantown taking on the Hartford Orioles. Good evening, everyone, with Dick Basham, Hall of Fame football coach. John Weiser with you. Glad you could be along for this one here tonight. 9th meeting in the non-conference between these two teams. Hartford getting the early edge, winning the first 3 of 4 matchups in this series, but Germantown coming back, taking the last 4, including last season. And I guess when you look at non-conference, you don't really think of rivalries too much, but here tonight you got the North Shore and the Wisconsin Littleton. This has turned into quite a little battle.
Well, I think it is a good rivalry. Both the communities are fairly close to each other. The schools are very similar in size. They have long traditions of good football. Hartford going back to the 60s with Bob Larson, 60s and 70s, and then Pete Hoffman and Dan Brunner most recently, and now Tom Nennig. And, of course, Phil Datka here for more than 40 years, and Phil's back on the coaching staff here now. So there's some good blood there, and probably some maybe a little bad blood. We'll see tonight.
We have a contrast in styles once again here tonight. We'll start first with the Hartford Orioles, kind of a wide-open option type of play.
Yeah, they don't use a tight end, and they have 2 different quarterbacks. They have one player that plays several positions. We'll talk about in a few minutes. So, and then Germantown, of course, runs the option a little bit. Then they're doing the pistol, which is a more wide-open offense. So we'll see how it goes.
Talking about Hartford here tonight, 0-1. They lost to Homestead last week, and they've got a real triple threat player in Ethan Willer.
Yeah, Ethan Willer is a senior. He's number 3. You'll see him at running back. You'll see him a little bit at quarterback. You'll see him at wide receiver, and he's going to start on defense. He's probably their best offensive weapon, according to Coach Nennig. He's a real leader on the team, and I think he's going to have a good night if they're going to be successful. Last week he threw 2 passes, carried the ball 11 times, and caught 3 passes, 1 for a touchdown.
Coach really likes Max Oxner as well on defense.
Yeah, Marcus Oxner is the defensive end. He started last year as a linebacker. He's about 6'1", 185, not a real big kid, but he's got good speed and quickness. He's a big play type of guy. They're going to need him to slow up the run and get some pressure on the Germantown quarterback tonight.
On the other side of the football, you have the Germantown quarterback Lawhern, who started as a sophomore, and he's really developed into a nice quarterback.
Well, he's a very good-looking athlete. He's 6'4", 178 pounds, all-conference, second team last year in a very good conference. He threw 12 touchdown passes last year with only 6 interceptions. Last week he had 2 touchdowns running, I believe, and 1 passing. He's a team leader and very well respected by his teammates, and he's a very dynamic player.
Another team leader on defense, Hunter Higginbotham, really good player.
Yeah, probably the best player on their team, all-around player. He's number 76, a big kid, 6'5", 250 pounds, playing defensive tackle. He's most respected on the team, according to Coach Jake Davis. The kids really follow his lead, and he needs to have a really big game tonight, I think, if Germantown's going to be successful.
This takes us now into our keys for the ball game tonight.
Well, for Hartford, I believe they need to be unpredictable on offense and keep the defense off balance. I think it's very important that they have no turnovers. And finally, I think they need to hold Germantown under 3 yards on first down so they can have an advantage on defense.
For the Warhawks tonight, what do they need to do?
Well, they need to slow down the running game, I think, which is the strongest suit for Hartford. Their special teams need to be special. They need to make some plays, I think, on special teams. And finally, they need to get all their weapons involved in the game and make Hartford defend the whole field.
Germantown has won 4 straight in this series. We'll kick it off next, right here on My 24. Dick, you can hear me?
Yeah, can
Good.
you hear me?
I can hear you
right.
loud and clear.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Paul.
He can't hear you. I can hear you. Now you went away, though. Yeah. I just barely hear you. I could hear you good. Now you went away. Yeah, you're good now. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am. I can hear you. All right. Okay. All right, thank you. A perfect night for football tonight in Germantown. The Warhawks taking on the Hartford Orioles in a non-conference tune-up. Both teams heading into conference play next week. Let's enjoy our national anthem tonight as performed by the Germantown High School Choir.
Very low or nothing? Nothing. They're working on it. Mike's fine.
Germantown High School Choir with our national anthem tonight. As we said, almost a perfect evening for high school football. Temperatures falling back into the 70s. We got a little bit of a breeze out of the south here tonight. Should be a great evening for football. Ninth meeting between these two schools over the last several seasons, Dick, and Germantown winning the last 4. Hartford having the early edge early on, winning 3 of the first 4 in this non-conference matchup.
Well, I know talking to Coach Tom Nenning, they'd like to get back in the win column on this one. That it won't be an easy job for them tonight. They're a little bit outmanned. As Coach Nenning said in the pregame, they are suffering a little bit because of 3 smaller classes they've had in a row here, and they don't have the number of boys. If you look at, these are 2 schools that both have about 1,440 kids, and if you look at the 2 sidelines, I think you can see that Germantown has quite a few more players right now than Hartford does, although you only need 11, and they do have some good players, and I'm sure it'll be a good battle.
Hartford will kick this one off here tonight. Germantown will receive, working right to left as you view it on your television screen here tonight. The Warhawks in the dark jerseys, Orioles in the white jerseys here tonight. Back deep to receive Quinn Fliss and Joe Lemeron. And when we were at practice Tuesday, they were really talking up the special teams here at Germantown. As you mentioned in the pregame, Dick, be special on special teams here tonight.
Yeah, I think that's really important in this particular game, especially early in the year. If they can make a couple plays on special teams, that'll make life a little bit easier for them.
Evan Laird will do the kicking here for Hartford. And week 2 of the high school football season is underway, as running up under this one will be Fliss. He'll let it roll out of bounds just inside the 15-yard line. So the kickoff going out of bounds will set Germantown up in good field position here as we take a look at the starting offense for the Warhawks.
Well, they're going to have Dwayne Lawhorn at quarterback, and as we said in our pregame, he's a very dynamic quarterback and is a leader of this team. Coach Jake Davis says what he really likes about him is he understands their system very well and what they're trying to accomplish. And when you have a quarterback who has that quality, you have a real leader, not only as far as his athletic ability, but as far as his teammates are concerned as well.
So the ball moved out to the 35-yard line. They'll work it off the near hash. Lawhorn will bring the offense out. They'll have Kyle Tice, a junior, in the backfield with him out of that pistol formation. Now they'll rotate the backs around. Move the ends out. They'll go twins to the right side. Single receiver here to the near side is Schmitz. And Lawhorn will work from shotgun. First play of the ball game. And lefty looking to throw. Has some time. Delivers over the middle. Completes the pass out to Nick Holcomb. Holcomb breaks a tackle across midfield. Holcomb on the far side. Holcomb inside the 35. Inside the 20. And that's where he'll be put down there. We'd watched that in the pregame, Dick.
That's
you pointed
exactly
it out.
right.
Nick Holcomb and working at that slot receiver. Coming up with the huge play here right from the first play from scrimmage.
Well, Nick Holcomb is their starting free safety, but he also played wide receiver last year. And they run just a little curl pattern. He turned inside and then rolled outside and was able to break a couple tackles and turn that short pass into a long gain.
Almost a 45-yard pickup. 1st and 10, Germantown. This time they'll hand it off, trying to swing it to the outside, and Hartford had it read nicely that time.
Evan Laird.
Lemeron the carry, and Laird on the defensive end coming up to make the stop defensively for the Orioles.
That was a very good defensive play, and of course, and they really needed that. Now they got them back into negative yardage here, even though they're down inside 4-down territory. It takes them a little bit out of their rhythm.
Loss of 5 sets up 2nd down, 15 for the Warhawks. Single back is Fliss, twin receivers to the right. Lawhorn will give it to Fliss, trying to work up the middle. Gets a little push there inside the 25, down near to the 20-yard line is Fliss, the junior, 5'9", 140-pound. And you pointed this out, too. You really like the fact that their skill players play some track in the spring.
Yeah, they have a lot of their players run track in the spring. As an old track coach, as well as a football coach, I think that's really great. It's the closest thing that you can have to spring practice. They don't have a football out here, but learning how to compete and learning how to run better.
Gain of 4, 3rd and 11 here for Germantown, just underway. Big 45-yard play to start this drive, but Warhawks have been stymied since as Lawhorn looking to swing it out, completes the pass far side Tice. Tice rolled out of bounds and going to be short, it would appear, of the first down.
Yeah, it looks like they have about 3rd and 4 or 5 to go. This is key down for both teams right here.
Get another look here as Derek Wegner came up to make the nice play defensively.
And that's a tough throw. That was a nice catch by Kyle Tice right there, and he was able to pick up a couple more yards before he got bounced out.
Field goal unit coming on now for the Warhawks. It'll be Carter Schmitz. Kyle Winkler on the hold. This will be a 34-yard attempt. It is on the way, and it is good, just inside the left upright.
Well, he had plenty of leg, but he played with a little fire there on the left side. But that's a good start for, actually, I think it's a good start for Hartford, too, because they stymied after that long first play. They were able to hold him there from a first down and make him kick just for that three-pointer.
So after that big play on the first play from scrimmage from the 35, the Oriole defense toughens up, forces the field goal attempt that is drilled through by Carter Schmitz.
And the key to that series there was that first down play where they dropped him for a 5-yard loss and kind of takes them out of the rhythm they want to be in with that 2nd and 3rd and short yardage.
Good crowd on hand. School not in session, obviously, but still, community turns out well here in Germantown for these football games here at Datka Stadium.
Well, both these communities have good schools, and they have a lot of good things to support. And as you can tell by the number of people here tonight, that they, especially a beautiful night like this, are going to be out and do it.
Jordan Jewell and John Higgins standing deep for the Orioles. Schmitz has it teed up middle of the field, 40-yard line. 3-0 lead for Germantown here early on. He'll have a bit of a breeze at his back. Still a little breeze out of the south-southeast here tonight. And Schmitz kicks this one away. It will one hop into the hands of Jewell. Jewell will pick it up out across his own 10. Met at the 15. Dives forward out near the 17-yard line where he is stopped there. Looks like Powash and company there in on the stop for the Warhawks of Germantown.
Well, it was a low-line drive, and he handled it pretty well. I'm surprised that the coverage got down so quickly and was able to stop him inside the 20-yard line.
Well, we'll get our first look at this offense here as you get a look at head coach Tom Nenning.
Well, we're going to see 2 different quarterbacks tonight. Tom Nenning Jr., his son is a sophomore, number 15, and then, as we mentioned in the pregame, Ethan Willer, who's now in there at quarterback. They have different series that they run.
And Willer's going to take the option, try the left side, has some running room out across the 20, out near the 25-yard line. Good run that time by Ethan Willer, our featured player tonight, 5'9", 175-pound senior.
Yeah, that was a little read option, a direct snap, and he was able to get a good block. And you see Bo Bresky out there in front trying to give him a little help as well.
Higginbotham also out there defensively. He plays defensive tackle on that 4- and 5-man front that we'll see at times. Gain of about 8, 2nd and 2 here for the Orioles. We'll send a man in motion to the far side. That's Jewell. They'll try and work it up the middle. Ball comes out, but the Orioles fall on it as that was poked out of there. Looked like Nenning able to come back up with the recovery inside his own 20-yard line for Hartford.
You see the variety there. They had 2 plays, 2 different quarterbacks. They had no gain in that play. It was really excellent defense by Germantown, and fortunately Nenning was able to fall on the ball.
Our third member of our crew tonight, Mike McGivern, down on the sideline. Mike, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, I'm on the Hartford sideline. A little different than a couple of last week and certainly last year. Hartford defense not getting together as a group. Talked a little bit as a couple of players talked about what Germantown did, but as a team, as a group, they did not get together after that first set.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Incomplete pass intended for John Higgins. And so 4th down, that fumble, taking some of the momentum out of the Hartford offense on their first series.
Well, I think Nenning had a guy open in the flat. He hesitated a little bit, and by the time he was able to get rid of it, and the defender was in his way, and he had to throw it over his head.
So Evan Laird does all the kicking, plays on defense for Hartford. Will punt this one away, gets a high snap, gets this one away, a knuckling punt, fair catch signaled for, and it goes through the hands of the safety back there. Ball's loose on the field, and they dive for it, I believe. Germantown got it back. There's Connor Schultz back there, and it was also Quinn Fliss. Let's take another look. It was Connor Schultz, honorable mention all conference, went right through his hands after he signaled a fair catch, and it was Fliss who was able to pounce on it and scoop it up at the last second in midfield.
He did a great job of recovering that. The first thing he did is he got his hands on the ball. He didn't fall on it and have it squirt out. And that's the way you teach him to recover. I'm assuming he's been taught that, and he did a great job in that.
Again, a reminder that Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the TNL link. You can also find complete game videos, photos from this season's games, and more. That's my24milwaukee.com. Second series of the night for Germantown from midfield. 3-0 lead for the Warhawks, 8:50 to go first quarter. They'll run the option, and the pitch goes back to Fliss. And Fliss trying to turn corner right side. Cuts it across midfield to about the 48 of the Orioles. In on the stop, Noah Crystal, the inside linebacker for Hartford.
Well, that's a real simple option. It's a direct snap to the quarterback, and he just takes off running right or left. And he's watching the defensive end, and the defensive end is going to tell him what to do. If the end commits to him, he's going to pitch it. If the end doesn't commit, he's going to turn up and run.
Not often you get a Hall of Fame position coach working with you, as we watched the practice on Tuesday. Coach Datka working with the quarterbacks and running backs on that exchange. Twins here to the left side. Second down 7 for Germantown. Ball at the 48 of Hartford. Long count here for Lawhorn, and he'll hand it off. And getting a hole up the middle, Fliss with some running room. Inside the 25 and Russell down near the 20-yard line. 28-yard pickup and a first down for Germantown.
I think Ethan Willer made that tackle, if I'm not mistaken. We can see it here. This is right up the middle, a missed tackle there. And runs in, gets in between 2 or 3 other guys. Finally, Willer gets a hold of him right here and gets a couple guys to help him out.
Another First Bank Financial Center first down. Again, thank you this season for First Bank Financial Center, our first down sponsor on Thursday Night Lights. First Bank Financial Center, one bank, one resource. Gain of 28 on the play. First and 10, Germantown from the 20 of Hartford. Lawhorn wants to throw. The lefty with some time delivers near side. Catch is made. This is Schmidt. Schmidt spins inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line where he is brought down there.
Well, Dylan Wilcox is a corner down there, and he lost his footing and went down. So Schmidt was wide open. It was a pretty easy throw. And he was able to turn and get a couple more yards before Wilcox was able to get up. And there you see him getting up right there and making the play.
Gain of 16 sets up first and goal at the 4 for Germantown. Schultz and Holcomb split out to the right side. Carter Schmitz here to the near side. Single back, Lemeron. Check that. That is Fliss in the backfield, and Fliss stopped right at the line of scrimmage. That's about all he got that time. Stout up the middle. Adam Lang, the 6'2 senior, able to make the tackle, the defensive tackle for the Orioles.
He had a hold of his legs just about the same time he got the ball. They were fortunate that it didn't turn out to be a fumble. And we'll see if Hartford can stiffen up again and get out of here with just 3 more points on the board, or maybe none.
Fliss will exit. Lemeron in now in the backfield. Cole Karch out to the far side along with Holcomb. Schmitz here to the near side. And they'll give it to Lemeron. Cuts it back inside at the hash. Gets it to the goal line. Touchdown, Germantown. Good cut at the hash mark that time by Lemeron, the junior. 2 touchdowns a week ago and picks up his 3rd of the season on that run.
Well, Crystal was able to make the tackle, but it was a little bit too late. That was a nice play. They took their tight end, Cole Karch, and spread him out a little bit. See a nice cutback right there by Lemeron, and he was able to come back and crack on this play and clean that hole up a little bit. We saw a player with his helmet off that. Didn't see how that happened.
Schmitz to tack on the extra point. Ball down. Kick is on the way, and it is good. A 10-0 lead here for Germantown. 6:14 to play. Let's head down to the sideline. And Kara, what do you have for us?
Hey there, Kara here. I'm sitting here with Sharon Mitchell, District Manager for Wendy's locations, and of course Frosty. Sharon, I know you've got some hot items on the menu, but can you tell me what you're bringing to high school football this year?
Oh, we're bringing a lot of participation from the fans, and Wendy's is really loving being with the high school and showing the young people of today. It's a great pleasure to Wendy's to be involved in Thursday Night Lights.
And we're excited to have you here. Back to you, John.
Kara, thank you very much. Our newest member of the Thursday Night Lights team, Kara, on the sideline tonight, along with Mike McGivern. Dick Basham and John Weiser with you on a beautiful night here in Germantown. A 10-0 lead here for the Warhawks midway through our first quarter.
Well, this is not the way Hartford wanted to get started, I can assure you. They need to take the ball here now and hold on to it, get some field position, and see if they can work it down and get some points on the board to nullify what's happened so far.
It's the fifth year now for head coach Tom Nenning. Of course, he was a coach at Mayville back in, 2006. Got him to Madison in the state championship game for Mayville that year. Kyler Schmitz set to kick off. Jordan Jewell and Higgins back deep.
They need to slow down the coverage a little bit. They kicks a little bit deeper this time in the end zone, so now they go 20-yard line.
Again, in high school football, automatic touchback if the ball breaks the plane of the goal line on the kick, so they'll move it out to the 20-yard line for Hartford.
And you get it up in the wind, and there's a little bit of a southeast wind that'll carry that ball, and he was able to take advantage of it. We'll see what Coach Nenning wants to do. If he's going to go with Willer, or looks like he's going to have Willer at quarterback on the first down here.
Once again to Mike McGivern on the sideline.
Hey guys, after that touchdown, Coach Nettie got these boys together and said, strap them on. Fellas, if you thought this was going to be easy, it's not. Strap them on, start hitting people, and start playing football the way we talked about you guys playing. So we'll see how this goes.
We'll start with a two-man backfield here. Two receivers split here to the near side. They'll hand it off to the tailback. Fights his way through.
That might have been Brisky first carry. Yeah,
yep. Bo Brisky, the sophomore, and his first carry of the season. Brisky, big play capability according to Coach Nenning.
Right.
Brought down on the play. Lincoln Gruber in that five-man front. He'll come in, play end for the Germantown Warhawks, was there to make the stop.
So it's a good start. You get 6 yards on the first down. Now they're on schedule. 2 downs to get the last 4 to get that first and 10.
2nd and 5 for Hartford. Try counter inside, and it's met at the line of scrimmage once again. And once again, it's Bo Brisky on the carry.
Yeah.
Whole host of Warhawks there. Kyle Tice, the inside linebacker, leading the way.
Playing both ways, and not only is he a good running back, he's a good linebacker. Very quick and was able to come up underneath that play and make the tackle.
No gain on the play. Sets up 3rd and about 5 here for the Orioles. Send a man in motion to the far side. That is Jewell. They'll try to hand it off.
Ooh.
And nothing there. The Germantown Warhawks were there. And leading the way once again, Holcomb, the free safety. Started at wide receiver last year. Comes up with the big plays. They give it to the man in motion that time, Jewell, for no gain.
Well, he read that. The man in motion drew his attention, and he rolled right up in there, what you call rolling up on the inside, and filled that alley, and he cleaned that play up real quick and forced him to punt.
Second punt of the ball game now for Evan Laird. Gets a good snap. Gets this one away. Hangs up in the breeze.
Good kick against the wind.
Very good kick. Again, muffed. The ball's loose, and it's picked up by the Orioles. Once again, they muffed the punt. Connor Schultz elected to try and field it. Could not come up with it. And coming up is Owen Mislang on the recovery for the Orioles. And that will head us into our commercial break here. Midway through our first quarter, 10-0 Germantown, but Hartford with the big break of the game will have it 1st and 10 in Germantown territory when we come back.
Welcome back. Kara here, My24. Make sure everybody logs on to my24milwaukee.com and vote for your Wendy's High School Football Fanatic. Watch the videos, pick your favorite, and cast your vote. The winners will receive a Samsung tablet and a year of burgers from Wendy's. Voting ends October 20th, so get online and vote. Wendy's High School Football Fanatic, brought to you by Wendy's and My24.
All right, Kara, thank you very much. 4:17 to go, first quarter. Hartford with a big break of the game here, recovering a muffed punt at the 31-yard line of the Warhawks.
Yeah, they need to take advantage of this situation right here to get back in this game.
Nenning will work at quarterback. Two receivers here to the near side. Slot man here near side as well, and he wants to throw. Steps up with time, delivers the ball. Nice catch, and he dropped it as he brought it down incomplete. Would have been a nice gain there. Went to the big man here on the near side. That was Mitch Birdie, the split end. Just could not bring it down and cradle that football.
Yeah, Quinn Fliss broke that up. It was a real nice play by him. The timing was a little bit of a high throw. He's in a vulnerable position. He was able to hit him right in the middle of the back there, as you can see, and shake that ball loose. He got a little more help also from Clay Knapp.
2nd and 10 from the Warhawk 31. Again, Nenning will work at quarterback. Brisky, the single back. 3 receivers to the left side. And they'll pitch it to Brisky. Met and broken up. Boy, ball, receiver, defender, all there at once. And what are we going to call this? A fumble recovered by Germantown. What a blow up there.
Lincoln Gruber almost got the pitch out. Instead, he nailed the runner.
Take another look here.
I mean, that's got to be, he just out quick the left tackle. That wasn't even close. That's really unfortunate for Hartford. They had an opportunity and let it get away, and now it's Germantown back on the hunt again for more points.
Lincoln Gruber, 6'2", 187-pound junior. Able to disrupt that play, turnover right back to Germantown. 1st and 10 Warhawks from their own 40-yard line. Just over 4 minutes to go, first quarter, 10-0, Germantown leading.
They need a big play on defense here to start out with.
Lawhorn throws far side, completes the pass out the right side. There's Carter Schmitz with the catch, the junior.
Ethan Willer made the play. Again, a very good controlled passing game, getting them short yardage enough to get in sync on the down situation. They have 2nd and 2, which is a good time to take a shot at the end zone if you want to, but we'll see what they want to do, if they want to just get the first down and start over again.
Schultz and Holcomb split out to the right side. Schmitz here to the near side. Single back Lemeron with Lawhorn in the backfield. 2nd down 2 from the 48 of Hartford. Lawhorn with time comes back looking for the receiver Schmitz, and he just turned around at the last second, couldn't find the football, and it goes incomplete.
Yeah, he just got out of whack, and the ball was thrown on the other side. He was looking inside, and the ball was thrown outside. Dylan Wilcox was there to make the play, and that was that situation where you had 2nd and 2, and you take a shot at it because you still have 3rd down to come back and get that 2 yards.
This time they'll send Schultz and Holcomb here to the near side, Schmitz to the far side. Fliss in now at running back. Linebackers creeping up, showing blitz. They blitz from the outside, and Fliss brought down behind the line of scrimmage, lost a yard. Good play up front, as once again Mislang, I believe on the blitz that time, found the gap and found the running back behind the line of scrimmage as we take another look.
Look at it. You can see right there he was able to beat the block of the guard and get inside, took that, what we call the A gap on the right side of the center, and was able to bounce off of that to the play and make a big play, forcing them to probably punt here.
Well, they're going to take Fliss out. They're going to bring Lemeron in.
Well, Lawhorn is still in. That's interesting. Yep. But we did see him practicing some quick kicks in practice, so I would possibly look for that.
So 4th down here, and it appears that Germantown going to go for it. Twins here to the left side. Lawhorn wants to throw, comes back, running a slant, incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs. Holcomb, the intended target. He was a slot man here on the left side, running a slant, and could not connect.
And he did get the inside position, but the ball was thrown a bit low in front of him, and he couldn't make the play. I'm a little surprised they went for it. Giving the ball up in your own territory when you have a 10-0 lead in the first quarter, I think maybe is a little dangerous.
Downstairs we go to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, on the Germantown sideline, they're talking to number 10, Connor Schultz, about keeping his elbows in and just catching the ball. Not thinking about running, just catch the ball on the punt. And then on the Hartford side, they're really, really talking about just taking care of business, trying to get a first down, trying to get these boys up front to make sure they know who they're blocking and finish their blocks.
Some good points there. Got to pick it up one down at a time as Brisky gets the carry, met at the line of scrimmage, may have squeezed out a yard. Ben Glady, the 6-foot senior, up front making the stop for the Warhawks.
Well, that report we had, Mike, the elbows in is really critical to catching a punt.
4 total yards on their combined 3 drives here so far in this first quarter. Gain of 1, second down 9 from the 45. Looks like Neming maybe changing the play.
Right.
As Brisky, the single back, 2 receivers here to the right side. And he's going to give it to Brisky, and he is met and drilled down immediately.
Right.
Higginbotham right there on the stop. As
Cam Law was there also there, the outside linebacker.
And again, just shedding the block and getting there first that time. The defense starting to win the battle up front here for Germantown. King of the Hill is coming to My 24. You can hang out with Hank Hill and his family and all his rowdy friends. Don't miss King of the Hill. That's weeknights at 5 starting September 16th right here on My 24. Now 3rd and 10 here for the Orioles. Nenning wants to pass. Going to roll right, throw it right, and goes incomplete. Was looking for Jewell here on the near sideline. Was well covered on the play. Couple of defensive players there. Lau along with Holcomb on the coverage.
Well, they had a short side of the field, too. There wasn't a lot of room to work. They needed 10 yards. And it was possible to get it in there, but it was a low percentage pass and didn't work out.
So the Germantown defense, the story here tonight. 4 drives now and total of 4 yards. Laird in again to punt. Fliss this time, Quinn Fliss, deep to receive. Another high floating kick. A little bounce, and they'll let it roll. Backs up a little bit at the 12-yard line. So a 35-yard punt, no return, and just under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Germantown will have it deep in their own territory, leading by 10.
Well, I would say Evan Laird is Hartford's MVP so far. He made that big play on the first series thrown for a loss and held him to a field goal. And his punting against the wind has kept Germantown backed up. Hartford, they need to get going on offense. I think they're being a little bit too cute. I think they need to line up and just get after it a little bit and establish themselves. Try to get that 3 or 4 yards on first down so they have second and manageable and have a chance to get that first down. I think Coach Nenning is right. We just need to get some first downs and get going here.
Lemerond in the backfield. Schultz split out to the far side. Schmitz split out here the near side. They'll hand it off. Big hole up the middle. Lemerond, he is on the loose. Lemerond across midfield. They won't catch him. He won't go all the way. 88-yard touchdown, Germantown. Joe Lemerond, the junior, showing that track speed. He also goes out for track in the spring. 88 yards in his wake. 16-0 Warhawks.
Yeah, I would think from watching him, he's probably a sprinter on the track team. And he's got good speed. Real nice form, carrying the ball nice and high. He's pulling away. Nobody's gaining on him, and that play went right up the middle of the defense.
'88-yard touchdown run for Lemerond. Carter Schmitz on for the extra point. Winkler on the hold from the snap by Glady. And it is good. 17-0 Germantown. 41 seconds to go here in our first quarter. One play, 88 yards. The sprinter, Lemeron.
Well, talking about multiple sport athletes, and Germantown has a lot of them. And they have right now the strongest basketball team in the state of Wisconsin. They have had it for 3 or 4 years. And there's at least 4 or 5 guys from that basketball team that are on this football team. And I got to, that doesn't happen in every school. Coaches get possessive, and this is my player, and this is your player, and that type of thing. And I have always thought that multiple sport athletes are the way to go in high school, and I understand there's scholarships and stuff out there, but the number of scholarship players on this field tonight, there aren't many out here, but there are a lot of good players. That's because they're good athletes.
Once again, Jewell and Higgins will stand deep. Carter Schmitz with the wind at his back.
See if he can get that deep kick again. The first one was about the 10-yard line. The last one was in the end zone.
And Schmitz gets this one away.
Nope.
Be short, and it will be taken by Higgins. Up the middle, Higgins goes. Met across the 20s. Ball is out. Squirts out, picked up by an Oriole. He'll take it across the 35 out to the 39-yard line.
Schmitz made the tackle on that.
The kicker, Carter Schmitz, down there to make the coverage. Let's see how this transpired.
So he gets drilled right there. And there's the ball. Who's that, number 29? I don't have him on our chart. Let me look that up. That is Alex Peters.
Actually, I think it was 39. I think that was Oxner.
Oh, was that Oxner?
That was Oxner who picked up that loose
29.
ball.
Okay, well, the Ox got it.
Some extra yardage out of the Ox that time. Out to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Hartford.
There we go.
And spinning his way forward, that's Bryce Semrad on the carry. Semrad, the 5'8 senior.
Lincoln Gruber made the stop. That was a nice run. He was hit at the line of scrimmage and spun out of one tackle and picked up about a little over 6 yards, about 6 yards. So that's now they're on schedule to get that first down they need.
And we'll wait till the second quarter to see if they can pick up that first down as time will expire here in the first. It's been all Germantown, capped off by the Lemeron 88-yard touchdown run. It's the Warhawks over the Orioles 17-0 after one quarter. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. As you look at the big night, Lemeron with that 88-yard touchdown run for Germantown. Hartford with the football, second down, and we'll call it 4 from their own 45. And Bresky met and driven back. Never got to the line of scrimmage. A whole host of Warhawks led by Lau in on the stop for Germantown.
Well, I don't know if we have a replay on this play, but it's looking right down the line of scrimmage, and the line of scrimmage is being won by the guys in the blue shirts. They're in the no place to run. And that's not a good sign for the offense. So now they're back to 3rd and 5. We'll probably have to put it in the air or run a little swing pass or something, trying to break something out.
Back in under center, 3 men in the backfield, single back here. It's the roll, the quarterback at the line, and it falls incomplete. Nice front, getting the tip was Karch, and knocked down and was nearly picked off by the Germantown defense. And once again, an Oriole drive thwarted. As you see, getting his big hits up there, Cole Karch using all 6'5" of that framework to knock that down.
Well, that's why he's a defensive end. He's got those big, long arms, and he can do things like that. And then he got to get a little bit better. You can see he's a sophomore. He's certainly a player, but you can see some of the sophomore tendencies, not getting his in the right position. He's a little hesitant in some ways, and I think he'll certainly get better as the year goes on, and probably as a night. It's not easy being a sophomore playing varsity football.
Across the 20, near sideline 30. Met and drilled at the 43-yard line. A for Fliss as he was level, taking it across the 30-yard line. John Higgins on the collision course.
That was a how do you do. He just drew a beat on him and tried to spin out, but he did a good job breaking down and making that play.
So a good return here for the Warhawks, sets them up at their own 3-yard line. Early second quarter, Warhawks up 17. Purple Zone tonight brought to you by Cap University. We usually call it the Red Zone, but this season, 20-yard line will be known as the Purple Zone. Kaplan University, a different school of. First and 10 Warhawks from their. Breaks down, hit from behind, and the ball's picked off. Intercept. Able to take another look.
Good pass.
Higgins again, who may have gotten a hand attempt to deliver. Given here at the we'll check out the flag again along.
Hartford's backing up, so I think it's on them. So they'll go first. Short gain, so it'll be second and. The ball just
back to the 10, to the 5.
right there.
45 yards. No. Late on the in. Who brought it across as we take another look.
Yeah, sneak got in between the guard and the center and snuck in there.
Broke the plane of the goal, and the Orioles. Well, the 45-yard pass complete. Willer. Touchdown drive. Layered to attempt the extra point. Mislang the snapper. Dylan Wilcox the holder. And it's on the way. Good. 9.5 minutes to go here in the first 10 here, 17-7. They take advantage.
Well, that's just what the doctor ordered. They needed to make something happen, especially with a break like that. To have 2 breaks inside the 50 and let them both get by without anything would be a little bit demoralizing.
Well, it's time now to tackle the Kaplan University Trivia Challenge. Text Kaplan to 58447 to play into Kindle Fire. And data rates may apply. Receive question and answer. You can also text help on Milwaukee.com.
With his hands on his hips, I think he's feeling a little bit better now after that last series, and he should. Now they need to get it back, hold him, get it back, and see if they get more on the board at least before the half.
Flitz and Lemeron standing deep. Look at the netting line here.
Yeah, I think Willer is showing his multiple.
And into the special teams coach for
same thing
for Germantown really got after his troops for letting that ball hit the turf and not fielding it. Remember, we were going through the stop drill, as we were calling it.
Now you might be wondering why a safety or something like that. The rule is simply that if the force was that put the ball in the end zone was from the kicker, not from the guy who touched it. If he had caught it and run into the end zone, then he'd have to get it out of there. But it was the kicker who put it in, and that's a touchback.
Well, Germantown from their own. Lawhorn. Wants to back side through the hands of Schmidtson.
To the outside, run for a touchdown.
That time back there defensively. That was a Drake Schlosser.
You know, I just was watching that ball in the replay. That Dwayne Lawhorn at lefty throw a ball straight. That ball had a little hook on it. And I think that.
On the play for Lemeron. Chris.
Well, you can see Lemeron's got a nice burst that gets it in. They're going to have to him. He's probably, it looks to me to be the quickest of the backs that they have.
For the to the near. We'll give it to the wing. Be a loss on the near side. Mislang able back to the inside to get some help.
They keep him running sideways. Otherwise, you're not gaining any yards, and that needs to always keep that in mind.
So the Orioles force a 3 and out. Mitch Bagley will come in to punt for Germantown. 30-yard line, good snap. A short kick, it'll bounce at midfield. Out of bounds at the 39. So it'll be Hartford football with 7 play, and we head back to the sideline and Kara.
Kara here. I'm standing here with Jerry Lang, University. Great to have you here, Jerry. About the application process.
And first of all, thanks for having me. Great to be. For the application process, we really like to sit down with students, help them kind of figure out, if Kaplan University them or the best next step for them.
And who makes a university?
Yeah, it's another good question. Where you are in your life, some you know, that are older that have been.
And I understand that you guys have some graduate programs as well.
Yeah, degrees as well as graduate certificates. So, depending on what you're looking for, we could probably fit.
And back to you in the booth.
Trying to hook up with Willer on that first down play, just overthrew his receiver by a couple of strides. Sets 40.
He was well covered by on that.
Got 5 men in the box here. Easy throw, ball in the air. It's going to be an easy pick. A pick-me ball. He'll return it across his own 30, out across to the 46-yard line. Each team with then he hit as he was step into that throw.
Sophomore.
Over 7. And Longhorn corner on that's it. Our side work kind of immediately maybe those photos big third down here. Holcomb, it's incomplete on a slant. For Hartford.
Connect side position. Quite get the as a result.
Second team tonight, Bagley to punt for the Warhawks. Jewell again standing inside his 15-yard line.
Turner needs to move just a little bit. He's a little deep. There he is.
The kick is at the 20. Circling back, trying to get the edge. And driven back. 25. 5-yard turn. We'll take a commercial break. 50 first half. Germantown up 10 on two. Night for with Mike Givern on.
Listen to the Hartford boys talk. They're really hoping a nice drive here, a couple of first downs, and see if they can or half. But if they can, pretty good about their team right.
I think Mike's just absolutely standing here.
Now it was
Willer, I think.
the Higgins, and it was thrown. First down.
And for town, if you let a team that you are beating play with you, they start to think they can win, and then problem. And right now, I think Hartford's in that process of we can get back in this.
Triple backfield. Then on the throw completes near side. Catch immediately.
Pretty impressive. Of course, Hartford has a long tradition of good wrestlers.
3rd and 7 coming here for the Orioles. 5 minutes to go here in this first half, trailing by 10. Nenning will work from the gun. Swings it out, completes the pass far side, spinning forward, and will pick up the first down. Nice reception by Higgins, able to get the first down. Justin Gross to bring it down.
You know, and I think that's what Hartford needs to do. Keep it simple, get the ball in open spaces and let them run with it. And then maybe come back with it.
To Higgins. Higgins spinning it.
Or just about the same time as the ball was. He's not the biggest linebacker in the world, but I'll tell you, he's very quick and hits the ball really well.
Tice started as a sophomore.
He's one of those basketball players. One of those guys.
In motion, they'll dump it out far side, complete the pass, and spot just across the 40-yard line. George Jewell, the receiver, and Gross.
Swing pass and fast enough in order to fool the defense. They backed well and were able to come up and drop that for no gain.
So 3rd and
last time.
Pick up, able to come up with interception. Joey Sikora, baseball skill, a little center field action that time off the double tip.
Well, this is a pass. I think Ethan Willer would tell you he probably should have caught that. Might have taken his eye off it just a little bit at the end and bounced away. It was a thrown ball.
Sikora.
Games.
Lawhorn will intercept from his own 45. The across the 45, stood up at 6 yard line. Out of that bottom of the
Fumble, huh?
well, it was a fumble. And they say the Orioles got it. How about
Owen Misslang comes up with the ball. He's had a really good staff. Yeah.
Yes, he has been active. If there's been a for Hartford, it's been Owen Misslang. Time gets the fumble. Teams have traded in his first. Orioles here with under 3 minutes to go in the.
We'll see what he can do.
Can't quite.
Right here, straight dive play and brings him down.
Well, if you like Family Guy, you'll love the times, some bad times, even a bear. So don't miss Dashed Face. It's the Cleveland Show weeknights, 5 right here on My 24. Jug 5 down to the 43-yard line. Bottom of that pile was Gruber along with.
That's a quick out again. Not enough situation here on third.
.35 work from the gun. Near side is Jewell. Wants Jewell. Out there was Reese. Updates for all the key high school football blitz. Sports Radio 1250 W. Able to get this one away. Signaled for by Fliss and inside his own 15-yard line.
I'll tell you, Evan Laird, he's one of the big 6'5", 230.
29-yard kick.
Well positioned, right on the sideline, yard line. Actually
right
inside. Yeah, he actually fielded it inside, so that was well done.
The Orioles special.
We'll see if get out here at 17-7.
Lead his offense out. And really the difference right now in the game is run by Lemmer.
Right, it is. And let's see.
Timeout taken here. This weekend we're talking. You got the Arrowhead Homestead.
Two defending state champions. Homestead won Division II last year by beating Wanakee, who had won 3 in a row. I can't remember. They had won 48 straight games, I know. And Homestead was able to knock them off. And the best team. We did quite a few games, and I didn't. They had it's at home times in the same conference, so it'll be interesting to see if it turns out.
Got the
well, yeah, Keith Hensler was the head coach at McWanago for many years. Played for him there and is now the head coach at Lake Geneva. They got Texas now in his second year at Mukwonago. That should be an interesting game.
Hand it off. Up the middle. To the left.
Oxner makes.
Tice. Kyle Tice. We'll see some fullback action. Start linebacker. Doubling up at fullback here on this drive. With the quick gain of about 8 on the play. A little bit more room to work with here for.
The air one out here. Nope.
And they hand it off. Down or close to it, just across the 20-yard stop as they unpile. In on the stop. Had a very active first half.
Especially in the last 5-6 minutes, he's been making plays here. It's like both teams are just going to be happy to go in at 17-7.
Davis going to let the pick up the first down. Lawhorn will lead them to the line of scrimmage.
See if they might take a long shot here.
No, they're content to just fullback dive, and Hartford going for that football, trying to jar something. Takeaway of the half.
See a helmet come. It's really point of emphasis.
Yep, tight. The ball carrier is going to have to. Yeah, he's going to have to come off.
He has to come off for a down in high school. Oh, it comes off. It depends on how it came off. If go out or not, but in high school, your helmet comes off, you're out for a.
We'll wind our clock down here to end this first half. So 7, Germantown. That 88-yard touchdown looking huge right now for both teams. As the locker room here at the half. In Germantown tonight, Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Warhawks up 10 over the Hartford Orioles.
Who kicked off to start the?
My24's Thursday Night Lights halftime report, sponsored by Wisconsin, brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Germantown on top of Hartford, 17-7 through one half of play. Each team with 3 turnovers in that first half, but it's the Warhawks up by 10 here at the break. Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, my favorite people, First Bank Financial Center people. Love these guys. Brad Burns talking with Brad about all kinds of different things, but certainly historically low rates right now in home lending.
Absolutely, Mike. Opportunities still exist. The rates are historically low. We've got record volume going on at First Bank. The purchase market's very strong, and there's great opportunity out there for people. So if you're looking to purchase or refinance, give us a call. We'd love to chat.
And we're going to talk to Sherry about the community aspect of First Bank, which is my favorite part. But certainly when somebody comes to talk to you, you know a lot of these guys. You know a lot of the people because you're so community-driven as a company.
Yeah, one of the great advantages we have at First Bank, Mike, is the local presence. And obviously we're looking to build a relationship with the client. And having that local flavor with the loan officers being in your same zip code, having underwriters locally, and actually funding the mortgage locally, as well as servicing it, it's a big advantage. And it's really come back. I mean, for a while there, the local flavor, I think, was an afterthought. But with the mortgage meltdown, the crisis that occurred, it's back, and it's really back very strong.
Sherry Shatterberg, honey, how are you?
I'm good. How about you, Mike?
Good. So Sherry is the branch manager, Germantown branch, one of my favorite branches, got to tell you. And I just love the fact that you guys truly believe in the community aspect of what you guys do. A lot of banks say, well, we're the community bank. You guys truly are the community bank.
We really are. We've got over 85% of our employees volunteer, and it isn't necessary. It's just what we do. We just love to do it, and every community we're in 11 communities now in Washington, Waukesha, and Ozaki County, and just the employees have a great time. I mean, hey, it's football tonight. We're having a great time. So.
You know what I love? Yeah, you bet. We're at the Germantown game, and she's the branch manager. She knows everybody here. Everybody's coming up. Hi, Sherry. What are you doing here? She's like, oh, I have to do TV, but I don't really want to. I love that fact, and certainly the things that you guys do as a staff at the branch. You invite people in. Anybody that wants to come in and talk to you about checking banking, come on in and talk to you guys, correct?
Exactly. We know everybody by their first name. We have a good time. We say it's not just an errand in the day. It's a fun event to come into the bank, which is great.
It's a family. I'm just telling you, I've been doing this with these guys for a number of years, and if you get a chance, go see them. We're going to get to a break. Other side of the break, they're going to talk a little bit about, I think with the Trooper, they're going to talk about Zero in Wisconsin when we come back. Back to you boys up in the booth.
Slot here near side along with Schultz far side. And this time it's Fliss again across midfield into Hartford territory, moves the pile forward. Second effort will get him a first down just shy of the Hartford 45-yard line. Owen Mislang tonight on the stop. Again, a busy gentleman out of that inside linebacker spot for the Orioles.
Well, Coach Nenning says that Mislang's the key to their defensive success, and I can see why, because he makes a lot of tackles. But right now, the Germantown offensive line is controlling the situation here, and that's why you're seeing these nice gains on these running plays.
And Fliss the single back. First and 10, Germantown. They'll read option here as they'll pitch it back to Fliss coming around the right side. Gets a couple, maybe three.
Might be a little evidence that they're already missing Evan Laird a little bit on defense. He's probably the biggest player and the best athlete of the big guys they have.
Mallier there to make the stop. Gain of about 3 sets up 2nd and 7 for the Warhawks.
They're doing a nice job of mixing it up here. Lawhorn's doing a good job of running the offense, getting the ball to the people, reading the option well.
Lawhorn wants to throw with time. Over the middle, completes the pass to Schultz across midfield inside the 20 to the 10 to the 5. Dives forward, lost the ball, but stepped out of bounds near the 5-yard line before it came out. Holcomb on the slant. It was Mitch Datka, the junior for Hartford. Finally ran him out near the 5-yard line as we take another look.
Well, that's a play they've tried to throw to Nick Holcomb a couple times and haven't made the connection. Now, post pattern right down the middle to who is number 10? Lost my place here. Oh, Connor Schultz, yeah. And takes it down to the sideline and goes out of bounds into the 5-yard line. That was well done.
We're in the purple zone, brought to you by Kaplan University, a different school of thought. First and goal, Germantown. Lawhorn wants to throw, near side, in the air, turning around, nice catch, touchdown, Nick Holcomb. Beautiful catch that time, over the shoulder, going to the far pylon, and it's 23-7, Germantown.
Well, Holcomb is 6'3" and he's a good athlete. And that's what's called a fade route. You throw it right to the pylon in the corner, and either you get it or nobody gets it, and they got it, and that's a 7-pointer.
Yeah, nice over the shoulder, cradled it in, got the feet in, and Holcomb with the touchdown.
There's really nothing the defensive back can do when that's perfectly thrown, which it was there.
And the extra point is good. 24-7, Germantown. And big 40-yard pass play down inside the 5, setting up this touchdown drive. It's Holcomb. Saw some time at receiver last year. Saw him in the warm-ups. Coach, I give you credit. You give you props. You were watching the warm-ups very closely and said, hey, we better keep an eye on this Holcomb kid. He's working out of the offense, and they're finding the timing routes there and those fade routes, especially with Lawhorn here on that goal line stance. Played to perfection.
Well, Holcomb had a brother that just graduated, I believe, last year. He was a very good athlete. He was a great hurdler and football player, and so he's got some bloodlines. And they're using, one thing I like at Germantown here, they're using their good players, some of their better players, 2 ways. Cole Karch plays both ways. Holcomb is, and I think it's benefiting the team.
Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern on the sideline.
Hey guys, you were talking about going both ways, and you know the thing with Hartford, a little bit, they're not quite as deep. There's a lot of guys cramping up, and that touchdown took the wind out of the sails on this sidelines. I can tell you that.
Yeah, the big blow, that 40-yard reception, and then coming right back through the air for the touchdown. And
well, I thought depth would be a problem for Hartford, especially on a warm night like this, and I think Germantown's taking advantage of it a little bit. That's going to be out of here.
That's out of the end zone on the fly by Carter Schmitz. Well, a suspended lawyer is forced to enroll in a community college with a wacky staff and student body. Don't miss community. That's weeknights at 9 and 9:30 beginning September 16th right here on My 24. Yeah, you get a look at Tommy Nenning there on the sideline, and got to reach down deep here.
Well, they got to get the ball to their playmakers, and of course the main playmaker is Willer.
Sophomore Nenning.
There he is right there in the slot.
Throw. They get it to Willer. Willer on 9-yard, maybe close to 10 on the pickup, just shy of the 30-yard line. Sikora on the stop for Germantown.
Those are the type of, that's the type of pass they need to do as much as they can. Nenning, make it an easy throw for him. He's certainly a good athlete. You can see that by the time he's a senior, he's going probably even next year as a junior, and by the end of this year, he's going to be a very good quarterback.
Willer and Birdie split here to the near side. 2nd and 1. Nenning, they throw it out far side. It was short. Might have been tipped.
It was, I think, at the line of scrimmage. Might have been Gruber might have got a hand on it, I think.
Gruber with the pressure that time off the right end.
It was also well covered. I think it might have been fortuitous that it was tipped. Here you can see him rolling to the right. Gets his feet set better this time. Maybe it wasn't tipped. It just was underthrown.
Once again, Mike, what do you have?
Hey boys, just looking at you guys up in the booth. Is it air conditioned up there? It's kind of hot down here. Just wondering, because it's really warm. You guys look comfortable up there.
The breeze went away, so we're really suffering right now.
That's good. No steak and lobster this week?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, cry baby.
Jewell breaks a tackle, takes it across the 40 and out of bounds near the 45-yard line. 16 yards and a first down for Hartford. Jordan Jewell, the senior, on the reception, brought down by Jacobson, Bobby Jacobson for the Warhawks.
Nice recovery. He broke that tackle. Sikora had his ankle but couldn't hold on. Moving the ball again. That's good. I like the spunk here that they're showing.
1st and 10 from their own 45. Late third quarter. Nenning fires a pass deflected, nearly intercepted. Holcomb, the defender out there, as it was intended, or hit Willer that time, and bounced around a couple of times. We saw an interception off a double deflection tonight already.
I like Nick Holcomb. He's got that sixth sense on the football field. Some guys just have that sense. He knows where the ball is. He reads what he's supposed to read as a defensive player and reacts, and he's going to make a lot of big plays before this year's over.
Well, that experience at wide receiver last year, you kind of get a feeling for what the receiver's looking at, turning back looking at his quarterback. 2nd and 10 from the 45. Nenning, pressure on, down he goes. Inside the 35-yard line, Cam Lau on a blitz, untouched.
Well, he came from his blind side as he's rolling to his left. He did not see him coming, and that was a great call by the defensive coordinator for Germantown. I'm sure that he was hoping that that's what would happen, and that's what they got. Now they've got 3rd and almost 20 yards to go.
Loss of 9, 3rd and 19. Under a minute to go here, third quarter. Nenning will work from the gun, twins left and right. Willer lined up in a slot here, near side, penalty marker on the play.
I mentioned defensive coordinator. The D coordinator here at Germantown is Dave Bransky, and he's been here a long time. All of the coaches here, they have 14 coaches on their staff. 10 of them are teachers in the school here, which is really unusual in this day and age. And then they have 2 retired coaches, Phil Dockin being one of them, that also help them. So there's a lot of knowledge here, and also a lot of experience with the kids, and the kids know the coaches on a personal basis because they see them every day.
Well, it's not often you get an assistant coach who's got Hall of Fame credentials that you can work with, and I'm sure Lawhorn's enjoying that experience with Coach Detko, working with him exclusively as his position coach.
Right.
5-yard loss on the false start penalty. 3rd and 24 now. Everybody going out. Nenning's pass deflected, incomplete, looking for Jewell. A skinny post route that time back inside. Was covered on the play by Cam Lau. And so 4th down. What looked like a promising little drive snuffed out.
Right.
Lau's big sack, the loss of 9, the big blow defensively. So Nenning stays on the field. He will punt. Evan Laird out with that ankle injury, lost for the rest of the game.
Of course, with your punter or being your quarterback, that does give you a few options, but I don't think on 4th and 24 you have many options.
Get this one away. Short, wobbly kick. Stepping up,
nice
fair
shot.
catch made by Fliss at the 42-yard line. 27-yard punt. That'll end our 3rd quarter here in Germantown. All Warhawks on Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's. (24-7), Germantown on top of Hartford. 4th quarter set to begin here at Datka Stadium. Germantown with the football going left to right here in this 4th quarter. Lawhorn facing a 1st and 10 from his own 40-yard line. And Fliss will take the carry out across the 45. Before he is stopped there, Adam Lang in on the stop. Talk about the community coming out for football here at Germantown, and they turn out rather well here. But the players actually get out in the community during the offseason.
Well, that's one nice thing about a community school like this. It's a small enough community that during the off-season and during the season, the players go and visit Green Gables Assisted Living Center, and the players sit down and talk with the residents there, eat lunch with them, and they're watching the game tonight. Hopefully they're happy with what the local boys are doing, and it works out well for both people.
That's a touching piece Jake Davis has this team do, and as the pitch goes to Fliss out across the 45 out to the 47-yard line, and he's quick to point out it's not forced. That's what the guys want to do, and they look forward to that. They love it. They love visiting.
Well, they love
with the
to hear
residents.
the stories. All these older people have stories of what they've done. Of course, they want to know about the players, and for instance tonight they can see who they are and follow what they're doing, know the names if we talk loud enough so they can hear us and that type of thing. But it's good for everybody, and I think it's really great.
So we want to welcome in those watching down at Green Gables Assisted Living tonight, watching on My 24. Lawhorn chased out of the backfield, struggles forward just short of midfield and short of a 1st down. Derek Wegner in defensively to make the stop.
All right,
and
well.
Davis not going to fool around here, going to punt from midfield.
Yeah, they got 3-score lead here, so they no use making it easy for anybody.
Bagley to kick it away, gets a good snap. Gets this one away. Jewell will make the reception at the 15, trying to get the corner, and he's going to be brought down. Good hustle on special teams. Jordan Nelson getting down on the coverage right on top of Jewell as he made that catch for no gain as we take another look.
Yeah, right. That was a good kick, and did a good job of fielding the ball. He headed off to his left, but Nelson was not fooled, and then he got a lot of help afterwards, too.
Again, this season, the Purple Zone is brought to you by Kaplan University. Normally we talk about the red zone when an opponent gets inside their opponent's 20-yard line, but this year it's going to be called the Purple Zone, and it's brought to you by Kaplan University. That's a different school of thought. Thank them for jumping aboard this year on Thursday Night Lights. Hartford from their own 17-yard line. Tommy Nenning at quarterback will turn and hand off. Higgins on the carry. Cole Karch, 6'5", defensive end there on the stop. Honorable mention all-conference at tight end last year. He's also part of that championship basketball program. As you get a look at Jake Davis patrolling the sideline there in your picture. Davis prepped at Homestead and went out to Whitewater. You talk about a football factory over there in Whitewater, huh?
Well, Homestead does all right too. He played. I believe Dave Keel told me that Jake Davis played center as a freshman in the state championship game. So that's pretty impressive.
Nenning's pass incomplete. Quickly 3rd down now for Hartford. Tell you what, that's progressive learning. You learn your football skills at high school level from Dave Keel at Homestead. Then you go apply that on Saturday afternoons out there at Whitewater.
Well, then you come and work for Phil Daka, who's been around 40 years.
Yep.
I mean,
is that full circle?
That's about as good as it gets when you're here for gaining knowledge of the game and getting a lot of different points of view, because there's a lot of ways to play this game.
3rd and 8 here for the Orioles. Nenning with time. Comes back near side. Pass was there, but it was dropped.
That's one that Miller should have caught again, yeah.
2nd or 3rd time tonight he's dropped the pass. Tice there defensively for the Warhawks. And so they will force a punt here. Nenning will stay on to kick it away. Again, if you're just joining us, Evan Laird, their punter, you see him there, pads off on the training table there. Sprained, high ankle sprain is what we were told early in the 3rd quarter. He is their punter, out for the game. Nenning gets off a good kick. And again, fair catch signaled for, and they'll get away from it. They'll let it roll. Takes an Oriole bounce inside the 35 and roll dead at the 33.
Yeah, I think
the penalty marker down on the 47-yard punt. Flag down at midfield.
I think Nick Schneider misjudged that a little bit and then did the wise thing and got out of the way.
While the officials are sorting this one out, again, Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's is available online. You can log on to my24milwaukee.com, click on the Thursday Night Light link, and you can also find our game videos and photos from tonight's game, as well as all season long, right online at my24milwaukee.com. We call this a tweet? What are we, tweeting, twittering? What are you?
You're asking the wrong guy.
You're not into this,
are you? To me,
a
tweet is what a bird does. So.
Penalty's going to go against Hartford, which will move the football back inside the 25-yard line to the 23. I'm a technophobe myself.
Well, I don't know if I'm a phobe, but I just have not bought into all the social media. I'm not that social a guy. I'm not antisocial, but I don't think people need to know what I'm doing all the time.
No, that's for sure. I'm not quite sure.
I'm not sure I want to know what everybody else is doing all the time either.
You're right. The same thing.
Not that I'm doing anything subversive or anything like that. But
penalty on Germantown. Excuse me. It'll be Germantown ball, and Fliss gets the corner. Penalty marker down. This one's going to come back as he's dragged down from behind across midfield, but this one's going to come back for either a block in the back or a hold. Oxner able to chase
him down. Wow, that's impressive.
Fliss.
Hold or a clip I couldn't quite see, but it's on the far side over there.
Let's get another look here.
Whatever it is, it's going to hurt.
Block in the back.
Block in the back. All right, well. I guess they don't call clipping much anymore. It's blocking in the back, but he does break outside really well. And there's the block in the back, I think, right there, yeah.
Just entering in your picture.
Good call by the official. Well, we'll see what they've got to do to get out of a hole here. What they're going to have 1st and 5th, about 17, it looks like.
Fliss a little shaken up as he hits back to the sideline. A little bit of a stinger, maybe.
I think it's crazy bone.
Part of our crowd here tonight. Good crowd on hand on that Germantown side. Filled the stands tonight against school not in session.
Don't seem to be too interested in the game there.
17-point lead here in the 4th quarter. And just enough going on out here. Keep them interested as met in the backfield and driven down for a loss. That's Kyle Tice, one of the few carries he's had tonight.
Yeah.
Once again, Mislang right there in the backfield to make the play.
They were trying to run a little bit of reverse pivot counter play, and penetration caught that play right in the backfield. There you can see a defensive coordinator from John Redders from Hartford signaling in his defense. John's a head track coach at Hartford, very successful in that endeavor as well.
2nd and 18. Orioles showing blitz. Now they back off. Lawhorn with time comes back near side, overthrows the intended target. Is coming back near side. Matt Richmond, the junior wide receiver, 5'11", out there now to wide out spot for Germantown.
That's another name we've heard over the last couple of years here. That I think he might have had a brother that played.
Well, they've had to replace a couple of their key offensive weapons from a year ago. You talk about the receiving core, Jason Townsend last year, 450 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns. Tyler Barron, their running back, 880 yards, 9 touchdowns.
Right.
Barron now competing for a starting job at Carthage College this season as a freshman, making some impressions with Mike Yeager, their head coach at Carthage. As Lawhorn now 3rd and long. Just going to hand it off. Coming around the near side is Fliss trying to get the edge, and he'll be brought down from behind across the 20-yard line. Good defense.
All right, good job of stringing that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly the way you want to do. Make it bounce. Drake Schlosser on the tackle again. You can see right here the defense bouncing outside and doing a great job of keeping that play contained.
Force the man to the boundary.
Right.
Keep taking him to the outside.
The boundary's your 12th man. Use it.
Bagley into punt. Jewell at midfield. This will be short of midfield. They'll bounce at the 45, hop across the midfield stripe, and will be down at the 44.
All right, let's see if Hartford can get something going here on offense. They've shown spurts. They just can't keep it together long enough to get a drive going.
Well, this weekend, college football kicks off, and My 24 is the place for sports. If you're looking for more football, we've got it for you this weekend. Louisiana Tech takes on North Carolina State on ACC football Saturday morning at 11 right here on My 24. La Tech and the Wolfpack. It is he's thrown, and Nenning able to get that pass off and make something out of nothing there. Well, let's head back downstairs. Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, here with the managers for Hartford, Morgan and Sydney. Sydney just had surgery. I just grabbed the arm to get her out of the way, but still hurt her. So you guys are managers. What does it entail?
We pretty much just get the boys water and do stuff for the coaches.
Just making sure that you guys have everything that they need, correct?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you having fun doing it?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of work, especially when it's so warm out, yes?
It's not bad, but yeah, when it's warm, it's a lot of work.
So the horse that threw you, what's the horse's name?
Bailey.
Bailey threw her and she got hurt, and as the play was coming our way, of all people to grab her arm that she just had surgery, me. Boys, back to you at the booth.
All right, Mike. Always something.
That's right. Always in trouble.
Get injured on a horse in football.
All right.
2nd down and 8 here for Hartford. Midway through our 4th quarter. Hand off. Miller or I should say Bresky with some running room that time. Picks up a 1st down. Bo Bresky.
Holcomb on the stop at free safety, but that was a nice hole there. There was a lot of room to run.
Actually, that was Higgins, excuse me.
Yeah, it was.
Those orange numerals tonight,
reflecting
off
read,
those lights. Isn't that fun tonight?
It really is. I have had enough time seeing anyway, and then to put those light-colored numbers on the white jerseys, that's a real challenge. It's almost better watching the monitor that we have up here than looking down in the field.
Enough for an Oriole 1st down. The Germantown 40-yard line. Nenning wants to throw. Near side man there, overthrown, incomplete.
I don't think the receiver saw the ball.
Coming up with that was that Chris Tones?
Yeah, Chris Tones was.
Tones, a senior, 6'1".
He was breaking loose, but he couldn't find the ball, and as a result, didn't react very well to it.
Again, he's in there because Evan Laird normally plays that split end position, out since early in the third quarter with that ankle injury. 2nd and 10. Willer lined up in a slot here to the near side. Long count, Nenning wants to hand it off. Higgins will bang his way forward, across the line of scrimmage. Trevor Glady, there on the stop. Backup linebacker. Yeah, Trevor's the senior.
I think they're twins, actually.
You're right.
They're not twins in size, but they're twins as kids.
Yeah, his brother Ben at the nose guard and Trevor at inside linebacker. Gain of 4 sets up 3rd and 6 here for the Orioles. Ball at the 36 at Germantown. Nenning under pressure, now going to keep it. Sprints around the right side, gets the first down.
I was wondering when that was going to happen. He's been given that ball on that play, and he finally kept it and had plenty of room to run.
Gain of about 10 on the play. Lincoln Gruber finally chased him down on that far side.
Gruber has had a very good night on defense. He has made a lot of plays.
Well, as we said, this Germantown team will start North Shore play on the road for the first 2 weeks of conference play. They'll be at Whitefish Bay and at Cedarburg. Meanwhile, it doesn't get any easier for Hartford. They open up at home next week. Wisconsin Littleton play against Wisconsin Lutheran. And then they travel to Slinger in week 4.
A big rival, yeah.
Man open, trying to go up the ladder, could not come down with it. Again, that was Thones.
Or check that,
82. That was Mitchell Birdie on the attempt that time. Quinn Fliss defensively to break it up.
Probably a catchable pass. Tough to catch, though. As had to jump. He had a defender in his face. Would have been a great play.
Stops the clock. Just over 5 minutes to go. 24-7. Germantown on top. Hartford at the Germantown 26. 2nd down 10. Winning again. Read option. He's going to be brought down in the backfield for a loss. Not to be fooled there. That was Brady Slaystead. 5'10 senior. Defensive tackle that time. Able to step through. Did not buy the fake.
Same play they ran to the right. Again, he decided to keep it, but this time the end stayed home and who was responsible for the quarterback on the option and made the play.
Lost back to the 30-yard line. Sets up 3rd and 15 now for Hartford. The lone man in the backfield. Nenning with time. Over the middle in traffic. Catch made and dropped incomplete. That would have been a heck of a catch in traffic by Willer.
He was there.
Joey Sikora broke it up. Actually, that was Jewell. Jordan
Jewell, number 4. Right, he had it in his hands and lost it on the way down. You have to give Joey Sikora a little credit there for taking it out of his hands. He also got a hit from number 33, Clay Knapp, who was downfield, linebacker way down there helping out.
Would have been a heck of a deal there for Jewell if he could have hung on to that football. Now 4th and 15. Orioles down 17, no choice here. Nenning over the middle in traffic again, incomplete. Intended for Willer, that'll turn it over on downs when we come back. It'll be Germantown football, 4:12 remaining. Warhawks on top of the Orioles 24-7, Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Mislang maybe on defense, right?
I would go with that, yeah.
And I don't.
Oh,
as Coach Kelly said,
he's Hartford though.
You're
picking one for each team.
Right.
Okay, Mislang for them.
I don't know. You give it to Lemeron with that 88-yard touchdown.
He had 2 touchdowns tonight.
2 touchdowns. One of them the 88-yarder.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that might be the way to go.
Yeah. Either that or Gruber. Gruber's had a really good game too. Gruber does? 5 tackles caused a fumble. Okay.
What's Miss Lang's numbers tonight?
He's got 7 tackles, an interception, and a fumble.
Yeah. Welcome back to Datka Stadium. 24-7, the homestanding Germantown Warhawks on top of Hartford. And we head back downstairs. Mr. Mike McGivern.
Something really cool at Hartford High School. It's not done everywhere. Student athletic trainers Ava and Hannah. Ava's a senior, been doing this 3 years. Tell me a little bit about it. Is this something you think you want to do in the future?
Yeah, I want to be an athletic trainer for Northern Michigan, hopefully.
You know what? It's great hands-on experience. When the young man got hurt, Hannah was right there. The head athletic trainer said, hey, be ready with pre-tape, be ready with white tape, and get the ice ready. This is hands-on experience or something you want to do, correct?
Yes.
And you're having fun with it?
Oh yeah, I have lots of fun.
How did you get involved in it?
My sister was an athletic trainer, and so it kind of interested me, and so I just got an application and put it in and got to start.
You know, I think it's really cool. These guys, hands-on experience for things that they want to do in the future, and I really commend Hartford High School for getting these 2 guys involved, Ava and Hannah. Back to you guys.
No doubt. That is a great way to get a career started, to get a chance to do it at high school and learn right from the get-go as they'll pitch it out. On the run that time, Spencer Pethin, a sophomore, 5'10", 155 pounds. Owen Mislang, again, his 8th tackle tonight. He has been the force back there on defense for the Orioles tonight as you get a look at him in your picture.
You know, going back to those 2 trainers, my experience as a coach having student trainers was great. And there's scholarships out there for kids who are really good at that, and especially those who want to go into that as a lifetime occupation.
Matt Richmond split out here the near side. 3rd down and long.
Whoa.
And again, met in the backfield. Mislang again reading the play, able to drop Pethin for a loss in the backfield. Mislang working on double-digit tackles tonight and working on one wheel as he hobbles off here.
All right. Well, Tom Nenning said he was the key to their defensive success, and I think along with Evan Laird, those 2 guys really are the kind of the bookends of the defense. If they can keep the play between the 2 of them, something good is probably going to happen.
Has an interception and a forced fumble tonight, too, to go with those 9 tackles tonight. Bagley will punt it away here. We'll run it down as far as they can. End over end kick. Jewell will let it bounce. Zone 45. Will be touched dead there at the 45-yard line.
Well,
just a 27-yard punt.
2 minutes to make something happen here, and to go off the field. They're not going to win the game, and that's pretty obvious. But go off on a positive note here. Move the ball. See what they can make happen here in the last 1:58.
Orioles will take a timeout here. Well, next week we head out to Mukwonago. Classic 8 confrontation out there. It'll be Mukwonago and Waukesha West.
It should be an interesting game. Waukesha West had a nice win last week over Brookfield East, and Mukwonago, second year under Clay Iverson, has some good players. They had some young players playing last year. Very enthusiastic coach. I think it'll probably, those 2 teams are, if anybody has a chance other besides Arrowhead and Catholic Memorial, I think Waukesha West and Mukwonago probably can maybe make a run at possibly at the championship, but if not, they'll be up there fighting for second place with Memorial and Waukesha West. So it'd be an interesting game.
Clay Iverson, his second year out there at Mukwonago, coming over from Pewaukee.
Right. Yeah, Clay's a very excitable coach. In fact, to the point sometimes where he gets run down, and I think that happened to him last year early in the season. Of course, you want to make a big impression the first year there. Coming back this year, and I think they'll do a great job.
That's next week, Mukwonago and Waukesha West. Fumble on the play. Germantown thinks they have it. It'll be their 4th takeaway of the night if they get it. No official signal yet.
I got it back.
Yep, they did get it back. Looks like Bresky came up with that loose ball. Take another look here.
Yep.
New quarterback in there for Hartford. I do not have a number 1 on my roster.
I don't have that number on our roster, yep.
It's early yet.
I don't think it's... It's not Jacob, unless it's Jacob Christensen or Josh Goodrow. Those are the two other quarterbacks we have listed, both sophomores.
Turn and hand it off. A little bit of running room over that right side. Murray on the stop.
Murray on the stop, yep.
First carry of the night or second or third carry tonight, I should say, for Bryce Semerud.
Getting a good look at some of the backup players now. Before this game tonight, there was a JV game here, and Germantown came back from a 14-7 deficit and was able to win it 16-14 in the last quarter.
Third and about a yard here from the 46 of Germantown.
Number one is Jacob Christensen.
It is Christensen, the quarterback, and big run, picking up the first down and more inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Nice run that time by Bo Bresky, the sophomore, 5'10", as we get another look.
Jordan Nelson on the tackle. There you can see he's got some speed and power. Again, as I said earlier, he's a national champion freestyle wrestler and state champion as a freshman in the WIA meet.
Christensen will line up under center here. Final seconds ticking away here, and now penalty marker rains down here.
Yeah, movement before the ball was snapped. It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
So Germantown will hit the 2-0 mark going into conference play at Whitefish Bay next week. Again, two road games in a row in that North Shore Conference.
Yeah, Bay, I think Bay lost some really good players, but they had really good underclass teams last year. And Jim Tejan's an excellent coach over there. He'll have them ready to go. And I'm sure he's probably here tonight watching this game.
Hartford, meantime, opens up Wisconsin Littleton play against the perennial power of that conference, Wisconsin Lutheran.
Who beat Marquette last week 40-33, but then ended up having to forfeit the game because they inadvertently used an ineligible player, which is really unfortunate.
That's our final play of the night, as Bresky will cap this one off tonight. Germantown at home tonight defeats Hartford. Jake Davis and company going to 2-0, a 24-7 victory. Coaches will meet at the center of the field for the handshake line. We'll step out, take a break, back with our post-game wrap-up from Germantown after this. (24-7) Germantown with the victory over Hartford, their fifth straight in this short-lived series of non-conference battles. Germantown now 2-0, Hartford falling to 0-2 on the season. And downstairs we go. Mike McGivern with the winning team and the winning head coach, Jake Davis.
Hey guys, here with Jake Davis, the Warhawks from Germantown got a good win here at Phil Datka Stadium. Hey Jake, guys played well. I thought Hartford, there was a couple of times there that they really showed a lot of guts. Your team played awfully well, 2-0 now. Got to give those boys from Hartford some credit for hanging in.
Yeah, they did a nice job. They play us aggressive. They hit us up front well, and so they did some good things. But our defense hunkered down as well and got the job done.
Yeah, I agree. We're here with Terry Gaughan, the general manager at My 24. He is going to present you guys the winning game ball.
Coach, congratulations on behalf of My 24 for the winning Week 2 Thursday Night Lights.
Thank you.
You're right, boys. Get after it. Here we go.
Hi, Jake Davis. The Warhawks celebrating a victory here tonight by a score of 24-7. Taking a look at our players of the game tonight, Dick, really kind of a no-brainer here offensively for the Germantown Warhawks.
Joe Lemerand, the running back, 5'11", 185 junior on the track team.
And we'll get that set up here for you in just a minute. But Lemerand with that 88-yard touchdown run
right down the middle of the field, and nobody anywhere got a hand on him, and he had about a 5-yard run for a touchdown earlier in the game too. So here it is right here.
That's
Number
the first
21 cuts back, good blocking up front, takes a hit right on the goal line, but was able to get it in. Here's another look at it from the ground level.
Lemerand with that 88-yarder up the middle in that second quarter, and then Mishlang for the
Owen Mischlang
Yep.
is the number 47 linebacker for Hartford. Really had a great night. He had 9 tackles, an interception, and a fumble recovery, and really was stalwart on defense, and was a good-looking player. There's one shot of him right there, and I believe this might be the interception. He gets Lawhorn gets pressure, he gets bumped, and there's Mischlang there to make the play. So he had a great night.
Congratulations to Owen Mischlang from Hartford, and for Joe Lemeron from Germantown, our players of the game. We'll pause, take one more break, back with a final word from Datka Stadium right after this. Germantown opens up the year 2-0 with a Week 2 victory, 24-7 over Hartford. The Orioles now 0-2 on the year as both teams open up conference play. Germantown at Whitefish Bay next week, and Hartford will take on Wisconsin Lutheran and open up Wisconsin Little 10 play. Once again, we head downstairs. Mike McGivern with one of our players of the game.
Guys, Joe Lemeron, second varsity football game. He's a junior. I love the fact this is his second game under the lights, man. He said, man, I'm just going to play. Congratulations. Really good game for you and the Warhawks.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell us, 85 or so on that touchdown. That was you made that look easy, man. Took off and just nobody's going to catch you, correct?
Yeah, it was good blocking by the lineman and went right to the play it was supposed to be run.
You know what I love, Coach Basham, is he runs track as well. I know how you love that, and you think track is just football practice without the pads. He thinks the same thing. Hey, the quarterback put one right on the money with that fade route that you caught.
Oh, no, that was kind of short.
Okay, tell me about the second touchdown.
It was just a little Ozzy to the outside, and just pounded it in. Good blocking again.
So the offensive linemen, they just needed to hold their block for a little bit and then boom, gone, right? Tell me, varsity football, intimidating to you? Is it different for you than JV was?
Yeah, it's a lot more intense, especially with the lights and the crowd and the TV now. It's definitely an experience.
You know what? Wide-eyed, bushy-tailed man. You know what? He's a good player. You got to keep your eye on him, and you keep your eye on these Warhawks. They got a good year coming up. Fellas, back to you.
Mike and Joe, thank you very much. And I think Mike touched on something tonight too, Dick.
Yeah.
That game tonight was won on the offensive and defensive line for Germantown. They control the line of scrimmage tonight.
Yeah, they're real strong there. They always have been, and that's the key to, I think, a good football team over the long haul is they have that offensive and defensive line and control the line of scrimmage.
Well, Dick, thank you very much. Again, next week we'll be in Mukwonago as the Indians take on Waukesha West. That's next Thursday night starting at 7 right here on My 24. For our sideline team, Kara Volpentesta and Mike McGivern, Tom Kelly, our spotter tonight, Matt the Statman on stats, Dick Basham, John Weiser saying good night from Germantown. The Warhawks, a 24-7 victory over Hartford.